Welcome everybody, I'm Darius, and this is my channel, Mighty Sawdust. Today is a special holiday edition. So this year I teamed up with a few of the YouTubers that are part of the Woodworking Youtubers. So it's a Secret Santa. So we have 6 YouTubers. We've all basically agreed on doing a ornament for each other. So we're sending it out to everybody else, and we'll be releasing our videos all together. So the other YouTubers that are part of this collaboration is Chris from Custom Creative Carvings. We also have Ryan from 2 Elm Builds. We have Mike from Woodworks 716 and Hugh Macbeth from Hugh Macbeth Woodworks. And we also have Matt and Dom, the duo from Friday Workshop. So this year we've all decided to do a ornament. So I was kind of thinking, what can I create in a smaller scale? Because everything's kind of in a larger scale based on my size. So best thing was to do, I was in the middle of a few projects, and one of the projects we're making these geometric snowflakes, and I was basically also making a video on those, making them how you make a whole bunch of them, batching them out. And in the process I was like, might as well kind of shrink these down. So in this video, you can join me as I recreate one of these in a smaller scale. And if you want to see the reveal, you're going to have to tune in to the other channels that are part of this, and I will let you know who I sent my ornament to. So stay tuned to them. So these are my version of the geometric snowflakes. So definitely had a lot of offcuts. As you can see, this was a pretty big process of batching these things out. So I pretty much ended up using the biggest, longest little strips I had. These were going to be utilized for both the long pieces and all the little cutouts I had to make, the little diamond and the wings. So definitely used the orbital sander, flipped it upside down, and try my best to keep my fingerprints on my fingers as I was pretty much sanding really small little pieces. So definitely the easiest way was using the big strips, sanding those down, getting that pretty much prepped ready to go before I start cutting the little pieces, because those little pieces would be near to impossible to sand with the big hands I have. So the next thing was pretty much figure out the scaling down of all the pieces. So here I am trying to figure out the best measurement to pretty much, when I make the cut, it'll look like a diamond. So it's pretty much looking at a total length from tip to tip about 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches. Then when I did the 30-degree angle cut, it pretty much looked like a diamond. There you go. And that's going to be the end piece of at least one of those sticks. So once I was happy with the look, it was time to basically cut all the 12 pieces I needed for this. These were very small pieces. Obviously I used something to hold down the little pieces as I slid it through the saw to keeping my hand away as much as possible. As you can see, I have a little stop block there to get to the actual size, so I could just keep going through and through without having a bind in the little piece to have it just, ricochet everywhere. So taking a quick break from the process of making these really tiny ornament versions of the geometric snowflake, I want to talk about the sponsor of this episode. Yes, I have a sponsor. Who could it be? Well, it's me. I figured, being a small channel, what best way of promoting your channel is through yourself. So I do have a website, mightysawdust.com, and over there I launched a little bit of a product line. So I have mugs, t-shirts, stuff like that, hoodies, and basically they're something like this. So I have a few different shirt styles available, couple of different colors depending on what works with the color scheme I used. And here's one of the designs I have on there. Figuring you guys will appreciate this one. And I have more of them, obviously. I have my logo with these hats available. More t-shirts, more designs also, which I did not bring because I'm wearing the shirt. A hoodie that looks something like this. The other design that I was talking about, I have it in shirt form and hoodie version. It is the American flag with the yellow stripe of tools. Hammer, chisel, 2 different saws, and an axe. So these are available on my website. Hopefully you guys can support my channel by logging on to the computer, checking out my website, mysawdust.com, and see what you like. Hopefully you guys see something you like and you purchase it. So back to the build. So once all the diamond pieces were cut, it was time to get the little wing piece cut. Those are a 45-degree angle cuts. So those are a little bit simpler. Set them out, checked it out with my speed square. It is accurate for the cut. And made my cuts. These were longer pieces, so just again, as you can see, the little stop block kind of set up there. So I figured out that's the total piece of the length that I need, including a little stop block, so that the pieces won't have any bend to them where they can just have the little piece cut back towards me. And that pretty much went well. Each cut, once I got to a very small piece, I basically just chucked that piece out of the way and grabbed another spare piece and continued making my cuts until I had enough of my cuts, which were basically having 12 of these wing pieces. And going back to the diamonds was also having 12 pieces. So once all the pieces are cut, it was time to pretty much assemble the snowflake. So you can see I have the one main bottom piece, which ended up being 6 inches. Next was the diamond, which was about 1.25 inches, just shy of 1.5 inches. And then the wing was just shy about 2 inches. It was like 1.75 inches. So next I'm just kind of pre-assembling to make sure everything kind of looks right. The wings balancing out the other piece. And that was a trick of once all the pieces were there and you put it in the center, if it balanced, then you're pretty much right on the mark where your measurements should be fine. So this is what it's going to look like. And just use your imagination with the center, as it's not being glued, but that's how the center is going to be like. Yeah, that was a little quick tease of what it kind of started looking like. But back to the actual build, I'm just taping off these long sticks so I can actually get them spray painted quickly and I can kind of get the color scheme. So I used poppy red, and basically all the wings will be red along with the 3 main sticks will be red. That's the main color. The next step was untaping and then retaping for the next color. So kind of let you guys know what the whole concept was I was going for. So as you can see, I'm adding yellow to it. I was trying to incorporate a little bit of myself into this ornament, and I basically taped the very edge to be the yellow. Now I'm retaping these sticks again. Now the gap will actually be painted white, and I just use the other stick also here, as you can see in a second, is to kind of match up to make sure everything kind of was lined up. And then you go ahead and layer of white. So the red and our white kind of represents the persons that will have this ornament. And then to incorporate me with my color scheme, which if you haven't noticed by now is primarily black and yellow, or primarily yellow and black. It depends on how you look at life. That's my color scheme. So I ended up using basically the yellow on the very ends and the black pieces will be the diamond pieces. As you can see, I use the tips in black and then the bottom part yellow to kind of have my colors in there. And the very top will be the white. So primarily you see the white and red for them, and a little bit of the black and yellow for me. A little trick I was using was when I was placing all these pieces, if it balanced pretty well, then it was pretty much centered to everything. Now the original big snowflake piece, the angles of all the top portions I try to keep as even as possible. So once I put the second one on top, I made sure that it was roughly in between like 7.5 to 8 inches, kind of separated from tip to tip. The goal was to get basically 7 3/4 on the main one, and once you put the next top on there, you're pretty much going across and measuring to make sure everything was roughly at that 7 3/4, 7.5 inch mark on all each sides. That way you knew it was pretty much going to be symmetrical everywhere else, and your pieces should kind of balance together. So with the smaller pieces, I was doing the same thing. Alright, so that's pretty much where we're at the build, and without any further ado, let me quickly introduce a few of collaborators in this Secret Santa for 2022 with a little message from each of them, wishing you guys a Merry Christmas.
Hey, this is Hugh from McMath Woodworks, wishing you a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas from 2 Elm Builds.
Hey guys, wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a safe and prosperous New Year from Woodcraft 716.
Merry Christmas! Whoa.
Custom creative carvings.
Merry Christmas from Friday Workshop!
Woo!
Alright, so that's everybody that's in this group for this year's collaboration. So we'll have a live stream. We kind of planned on having it scheduled on December 26th to have a live stream on that channel, all of us. So everyone is actually releasing their video today. Everyone should be already posted when you see my video, so check out everybody. I'll post their links to their channels in the description. So without further ado, my miniature version of the geometric snowflake ended up going to Mike and Dom, the duo, the father and son duo, at the Friday workshop. So you will see the final creation sent over there on their channel, so check them out to see the reveal on their channel. So before we continue on with the process of mine, let's I just got the package from Mike from the Woodcraft 716. So he had picked my name in our little drawing of names, and let's find out what it is. Happiness comes in waves. Candy cane, pen, it's a pen. So here's one ornament, a couple little pieces here. I'm actually liking the hooks for these. I will definitely be reaching out and trying to find where you got those from. So there's actually 3 pieces. They look like they're shelves. Looks like they're shelves. These are actually pretty cool. Thanks, Mike. These are pretty cool. I'm assuming these are all handcrafted by you using the lathe. And then from the looks of it, you cut out the holes to fit these on top of. These are pretty cool. So that's the unboxing of the ornaments I got from Mike from Woodcraft 716. As you can see, that's the measurements that I kind of had of about 3 inches or so, give or take, but you can try to keep it all even. Once it's all even, you're pretty much good to go. And again, I pretty much used the CA glue. I was using the thick version. I found it better to use the thick one because it was of a gel consistency. So one little dab kind of stayed in its place. So here's a little tip that I figured out. So I needed to do a little touch up on some of the paint job because of the spray kind of bled through the tape. So I just took a board, sprayed some excess spray paint on the board, took a thin brush, dabbed it in there, and I was able to fine tune all the paintings. So I touched it up with the red, did the same thing with the yellow, and a little bit of the white. Instead of trying to color match some paint or any, kids' paint, I just went to the source. So once again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone that has supported this channel by watching all my videos. There are more videos to come, and hopefully everyone is enjoying their holidays. I know I will take a little breather and enjoy the family and friends, and I will also be making more projects and more videos that will be released pretty soon. So until then, let's get out into our shops and make something and enjoy the holidays. Merry Christmas.